Hey, Fit Family! Back for number two. So today we have some really great information for you. You may have already learned this information from a video I did a couple weeks ago, but the more we hear these amazing facts and this information, the deeper it goes, right? So we're on it again. So today is 6 immune boosting foods to incorporate daily, all the time, as well as 3 foods that can actually lower the immune system, suppress its function, okay?
Yes.
So in general, we just want to talk about eating those whole foods, getting those fruits and vegetables, the whole grains, getting those foods in the diet as a regular part of your routine, as a regular part of your nutrition. If you're doing that, then you're already hitting a lot of the things we're going to talk about, but we're going to get even more specific.
Yeah. So just to talk about a couple of things. So something that you guys may hear a lot is antioxidants. So what actually is an antioxidant?
What's an antioxidant?
And it's really interesting. This is a side note, but for 1 blueberry, you get 1 antioxidant, which combats 1 free radical. So an antioxidant actually supports our cells in preventing damage from chemicals and infections. So the more antioxidants you can get in your body, the better off you're going to be. So there's a lot of things with high antioxidants, blueberries, fruits, vegetables, things like that. And free radicals are those things like chemicals and infections and things that come in and attack the cells.
The damagers.
Yes, the damagers.
Damaging things.
And sometimes those free radicals can actually be cells dying in our body that we're not flushing out properly. So it's really interesting. They can be free radicals from outside of the body, but they can also be free radicals that occur in your body as well. Okay? So 6 things. We're gonna start out with, right?
Number 1. Protein. Yes. Now there's many ways to get protein, but that protein is so important for recovery and healing specifically. The protein is what is involved in building those antibodies. So if you're not getting adequate protein, you're not building antibodies on a regular basis. You're not recovering properly, you're not healing properly to the optimal amount that your body can and should be doing, right? So protein is so important. Poultry, fish, eggs, beans, seeds, even a high quality protein powder is a really great source, and it's actually easier to digest for the body too. It's in an easier, more digestible form, so it's less bulk in the body. So quality protein powder is a really great way to get that extra protein in your body if you're not getting enough.
Yeah. Number 2, spices. So
Spices.
A lot of the times we don't think about these, right? Because we think about whole foods, but spices are really important as well. 3 different spices that I would highly recommend adding to your nutritional gambit. Number 1 is going to be garlic. Number 2, turmeric. And then number 3, ginger.
Yes.
So just FYI, super cool. Nectar's doing a 5 shots for $10. So if you guys want to get into those specific shots, they really support with things like they're antibacterial, they're anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and antimicrobial. So add that garlic to your stuff. If you have garlic breath, that's okay.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's good for your
all
immune
together,
system.
we'll all have garlic breath and we won't even know the difference.
It'll be amazing. And again, with turmeric and also with ginger, add those 2 as much as you can, so that helps with that boost.
Beautiful suggestion. Love it. Our number 3, dark leafy greens. Now those are incredible for the body on so many levels, but the top 3 are spinach, arugula, and kale. Now they give us the biggest boost of vitamin C and vitamin K, or potassium. They also give us the biggest boost of folate, which is a vitamin B, and those all together help with cell growth, metabolism, and proper cell functioning on a grand scheme. So we want to always have those on our bodies daily if we can. Throw it in your smoothie, put it in a salad, put it on your sandwiches, whatever you do, get those dark leafy greens, specifically the spinach, arugula, and kale, in on a daily basis.
And it also has a lot of fiber in it too. I know we didn't talk about that, but fiber actually helps flush things out of the body.
Along. That's right. If you're getting gassy because you eat broccoli or greens, it's because your body doesn't have that in it on a regular basis, and it's not used to breaking that down. So you need to get it used to breaking that down, so it's actually going to use it better, and then you won't be so gassy.
Yeah.
It goes away.
Yes, it goes away. And quick little tip for kale, if you guys are not kale fans, 2 really great ways that I love doing kale is leaving lemon juice on there for a little bit. It helps break down the fibers so it's not as like, I don't want to say hard, but not as like tough, you know?
They say massage it with the lemon.
Yes.
And it kind of, it's like makes it a little softer.
And then 2, kale chips. I love kale chips. Just baking them in the oven. You guys can find recipes all over the internet. They taste like chips, but you still get a lot of the really good nutrients in them. So,
yes.
Totally side note.
Number 4?
Number 4, citrus fruits. Okay, these are really high in vitamin C. And fun fact, our bodies don't actually produce any naturally occurring vitamin C. So this actually needs to be taken daily. So if you're not taking a supplement for vitamin C, and I believe 3,000 milligrams is that nice point where you actually boost and it fights off viral infections and all of those things. Now, if you're sensitive to that anyway, talk to your doctor about it first. But even just adding 1,000 milligrams into your nutrition and those whole foods are really, really fantastic. So,
and it's water soluble, so whatever you don't use, your body just pees it out. And that's why you kind of have to do it regularly too. Yeah. So I even split mine up, and I'll do like 1,500 in the morning, 1,500 in the evening, and that way it's kind of getting in the body and staying in the body when I need it the most. During the day.
And these are really great. Again, antioxidants. And they have a lot of antibodies in them as well, okay?
Yes, they help us form those antibodies.
They do. They help form antibodies, okay? So next.
Number 5, fermented foods. So great for you guys on so many levels. Those fermented foods, guys, gosh, the gut loves it. It helps the gut, helps everything. The whole body is working better when the gut is working better, right? So kombucha, kefir, sauerkraut. I talked in my video before about fermented onions and cabbage. They're so great in salads. Pair it with your meal, like throw it with your chicken, whatever. They kind of really make a meal neat and different. It's a different kind of a taste. And of course, with the gut improvement, we're going to lower our inflammation in our body as well. So boom, boom. We got increased gut health and lowered inflammatory response, so our immune system is boosted.
Yeah, and it adds a lot of really great bacteria.
Yes.
And
microbiome. Yes.
For a lot of you guys that don't know this, if your gut is unhealthy, there's certain hormones that your body will not produce. So when you have that healthy gut, that's when your hormones start flowing more properly. So if you have anything that's like, if you feel off in any way, a lot of the times they say listen to your gut. And that is a really great thing to do, listen to your gut, because that's where, if your hormones are not being produced correctly, you want to look at your gut health first and see what's going on there. Okay?
Good tip. Nice.
Thank you.
6,
bone broth.
Love bone broth.
So good. There's so many really amazing vitamins and minerals in bone broth. So if you guys don't know the process of bone broth, you actually boil broth you can do veggies and stuff like that. But it takes out a lot of the marrow in the bones.
Boil the bones.
Bones, yeah. So not actually you can do the meat too, but the bones specifically have so many great nutrients in them. Just think, like, our bones are our structural system. So there's a lot of iron and calcium and things that go into the bone broth when you cook it in that way. And it's high in protein as well, so really high in protein. It helps with healing and recovery, just like regular protein would. But this is nice and warm and delicious. It also has that like kind of feel good, like comforty, yummy, soupy thing going on. So bone broth, definitely a huge one.
So good.
So those are the 6. And then we
got our 3 then,
yes.
Right? That 3 things to avoid for optimal immune system function, right? The first one is sugar. We've mentioned sugar a few times. Now sugar, there's a double whammy with sugar. Not only does it increase inflammation, but it decreases immune function. So it does both at the same time. So sugar is very, very damaging to our body, to our cells. And it's kind of like a drug for the body. Once we get it, we want more, and our body starts reacting a little differently. and it becomes something that we think we need and we want, and our senses get all heightened. So especially when we're doing things that are 300, 500 times the strength of sugar, those artificial sweeteners, our bodies are just going crazy and inflammation is just racking up. We got to get those things out of the body. Number 2.
So highly processed foods.
Yes.
And there's a lot of undigestibles that go in there, and that's just extra energy that your body gives off to get rid of it, and some of that stuff can sit in your body for a really long period of time. It can react chemically with your body and upset certain processes. It also ups inflammation and again lowers the immune system. So highly processed foods, things that you can get in packages, things that have a lot of sodium, sulfates, preservatives, like those kinds of things, as much as you can. I know that right now, like the oven pizzas are super, there's a draw towards them because they're easy, right? And if you are really committed to staying healthy and boosting that immune system, try as much as you can to stay away from those things. And if you're having 2 or 3 or 4 meals a day where it's all processed, you're really not getting any of the good nutrients that you need, or very little.
Yeah, if we're eating those foods, we're really not getting those whole grains, the fruits and vegetables that we're talking about. We're probably just getting filler stuff in our, and if we can't read an ingredient, if we don't know what an ingredient is on a label, it's synthetically made. Our bodies also don't know what it is, and it's just going to store it as a toxin, store it in our fat cells, and we're just going to accumulate fat that's filled with toxins.
Yeah,
it's really bad for the body, and it does it very fast, you guys. So we eat that bag of potato chips and our body starts storing that stuff. It does not like it. It does not know what that is.
And I'll say the same thing about processed meats as well. Be very cautious when you guys are buying lunch meat. So salami, I know it's super delicious. And things like even turkey, look on the label. If it has a bunch of additives and gelatins and stuff like that to hold it all together, that's when you have to start worrying about it, okay? So when you get lunch meat, if you see that it has a whole bunch of different ingredients in it, do not buy it, okay? As much as you can, do not buy it. I know Applegate Farms has a really great one. Boar's Head has some pretty good stuff. But stay away from those highly processed lunch meats as well.
If it's doing something to the food to preserve it or keep it in a form, it's also gonna do that in the body. So think about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gunk in our body.
Gunk in the body, get it out. So number 3 is alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol, there's a few things with alcohol. Not only does it target people who have, it actually inflames the body in general, but it also really highly inflames the lungs. So right now with the virus being something that does kind of attack and go towards the lungs, we want to avoid things that do that intentionally. So alcohol, I know I've given the example to you guys, if I have a drink, even one drink, I have an asthma attack later that night. It's just inevitable. It does it every single time. The lungs are inflamed, they get tight. So if you already are trying to avoid things that damage the lungs or keep those lungs, you want to keep them strong, then alcohol is definitely something to avoid. Also, when you are consuming alcohol, the body, that's an immediate toxin that's very intense. So the body goes immediately towards getting that out of the body. That's the primary function when alcohol's in the body, get that out of the body. So fat metabolism, absorbing nutrients, all of those other things that we hopefully want the body to be doing gets put on the back burner, gets stopped for that amount of time that the body has to get the toxins out of the body. So if you're drinking a couple drinks, 3 drinks, and it takes, an hour per drink to metabolize, that's 3 hours potentially for 3 drinks that you're not getting nutrient absorption correctly, fat metabolism if you've got goals, all those great things the body does on a normal, typical basis, it's all put on the back burner and it's stopped.
Yeah, so alcohol, and if you guys are sitting there like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with my kids all day and I just have to have that glass of wine, really weigh the benefits of it. Is there something better that you could be doing with your body, like taking a bath or, going outside and taking a walk by yourself, doing some meditation?
Breathing.
Think of some really great ways and have this be your opportunity to step into something different than what you've been doing, okay? Because if you are really committed to making this immune boost a thing, because we don't know how long this is going to go on for. My invitation to you guys is find that supplement for that alcohol. Find something that is an or instead of that. It makes you feel better.
Worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We all know we feel worse after drinking, after eating sugar, after eating highly processed foods. We all feel just crummy after doing that, and it's like, why did I do that? Versus if we have that really good meal, we have those boosting foods in our body that we feel like, wow, I could go for a walk right now. Ooh, I could jump into a workout right now. How much better do we feel? And the mood boosting, the depression that happens with the bad foods, the bad things. We're already in our houses. We don't need to add to the depression with the food, with the alcohol and the sugar, right? So yes, let's keep ways of boosting ourselves and come out of this stronger than ever, rather than coming out of this completely depleted.
Yeah, it's a really great opportunity for us. And if you do happen to have any sugar or highly processed food or alcohol, my recommendation, I know Ashley's as well, drink water, okay? Try to flush it out as much as possible, as quick as possible, okay? Yeah. So limit it, and if you have to have it, or if it's something that you just want to add in, drink water. Like, hydrate, because all of those things, like the sodium in the highly processed foods, the sugar, and the alcohol, all dehydrate. So hydrate those cells as much as possible so they're more resilient moving forward.
And we're all going to have these things infrequently, occasionally, sporadically, throughout our life. So that's not the point is not to avoid them completely. Like, we're going to have a donut here and there, or sometimes. But the thing is that what we're doing regularly, the 80% of our life is what makes a big difference. If we're having that occasional donut or occasional bag of chips, or having that processed food, but it's infrequent enough that the body has time to get it out of the body and process it and flush it, then we're still doing okay. Okay, it shouldn't be the norm that every night we're having that frozen pizza.
And then the bottle of wine, right?
And the bottle of wine every night. Our bodies cannot handle that.
Yeah, you're going to see your results go downhill very, very quickly, and your immune system go downhill very quickly.
So make it a fun thing. You can have it as a special treat, make it a treat, not a regular.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yay.
Yes,
right.
So 6 things: immune boosting foods, the protein, spices, leafy greens, citrus, fermented fruit foods, and then bone broth.
Yes.
And then the 3 things to avoid:
the sugar, the highly processed foods, and the alcohol.
All right, so have a wonderful weekend. I believe it's Friday. And we look forward to connecting with you again with our next video.
All right, thanks guys.